Well, hey guys, it's Destry. Welcome back to my Oregon yard. Today we're going to be working over here in the side yard, kind of by my flower stand. It's August. July is over. So it's time to go ahead and take down all my 4th of July decor and kind of just spruce up this area over here in my side yard. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. I grow cut flowers and veggies here in my Oregon yard. And if you've been around a while, thanks so much for watching. So I did have my flower stand all decorated here for the 4th of July, but it's starting to look a little tired now that the 4th of July is long gone. So it's time to spruce this up a little bit. So let me go ahead and show you some of the decorations I'm going to be working with. I also have some flowers I'm going to be planting today. I'm going to be cutting back some stuff today, fertilizing today, and just basically trying to make the side yard just look a little nicer. So I realized I never really did a proper garden tour of my side yard for the month of July, unfortunately. I just got too busy, but let me just kind of show you how things are looking here. You can see I've got flowers out for sale today. I had my cute little bow, my little bunting there for the 4th of July. They're actually from Amazon and they are like kind of like balsa wood. They're like wooden, they're not fabric. So they've been great. So I'm going to be taking all this down today. I also have my red, white, and blue planters with my red geraniums, some blue flowers here, and then I did have some white flowers, but they've kind of fizzled out, and then my flags here. So it's just time to like kind of make this look a little bit fresh, right? It's going to be August here any day, and by the time you see this video, it might already be August. So it's just time to kind of refresh the flower stand. And then as far as the plants over here, things are looking okay. My Rebecca is all blooming, so that's really pretty color, but you can see there are a couple plants. This is one here, this is Stilby. It's just kind of done for the season. I don't think it's dead, it is a perennial, but it's either not getting enough water or it's just looking really fried right there. My yarrow I've already harvested. I have this grass here that's looking pretty good. But things like this, so this is a Nepeta cat's, I think it's cat's pajama or just a Nepeta here. That needs to be cut back. My iris foliage is looking good. And then, you know, we've got some beautiful things here. So these are looking good. My Suncredible sunflowers are looking good. But then again, look at that Astilbe. I'm not sure what's going on with those. So I'm going to be cutting that back today. These Shasta daisies are all done blooming, so I have my little clipper, which makes life so easy. You guys, I'll share that with you. I'm going to be mounding these down today and cutting and deadheading all these so that things like this can pop through and show. This is so gorgeous. This is a Proven Winners coneflower. I forget the name of it. And it's just looking really, really good. So the apple tree over here is just loaded with apples. In fact, I thought about coming out here and maybe harvesting some. I'm not sure if they're quite ready. Mr. Midnight has decided to join us. He's hanging out there in the Rebecca. So anyway, just a quick tour as we go. More things blooming. Check this out. Look at these pods that developed on my milkweed. I thought that was really interesting. I'm assuming that's like a big seed pod. But lots of success with the milkweed. Here's another thing I need to work on. I got to deadhead this rose. I mean, I've still got some fresh blooms, but it could look better. I'm going to be deadheading this Shasta daisies here and here. They're just done for the season. They're just spent. But, you know, things are looking good out here. The other thing I might do is grab my fertilizer and go ahead and get everything, some fertilizer out here, because I think that could really help things kind of perk up. And for the first time, I think I might actually get some blooms on my, this is a beauty berry, and maybe I'll actually get some little berries. It's doing a lot better out here in the sun than it did before. I had some sunflowers that self-seeded. So anyway, I'm just going to be getting out here and sort of cleaning up the landscape. A little bit, not like crazy. We're not going to be barking yet. We need to put some fresh bark out here, but that's probably a project for another day. So for some reason, this video clip didn't have audio. So here's Max peeking through the fence at what I'm up to. And then this is a sign I got printed just from Amazon. I'm going to be putting it out by the flower stand to help, you know, people find me. And then I have a bin of watermelon decor. I actually used this decor last year in my front entryway, so I will link that video in the description of this video for you. But I'm just going to be reusing some of these pieces that I had used last year in my front entryway. And then of course I've got my pop-up bag, I've got my little electric trimmer, and then I did buy some fresh plants for this project. So these are just a zinnia pack. I think they're sort of a landscape type zinnia, not necessarily a cutting type, but I liked the color of them. And then I got this flat of Coleus for a really good deal as well. And so I thought they were so big and beautiful, and they were a steal of a deal, both of these plants. So I got these at my local Fred Meyer, and I'll be incorporating them into the flower stand area today. Oh my gosh, there's lots of people walking in my neighborhood today, and I just had someone grab a vase of flowers, so that was cool. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is just take down all of the 4th of July stuff and try to put up some of my watermelon things, see if I can make that work. And then I'm going to get in there and just start kind of grooming and deadheading stuff. So I'm just going to turn the camera on and get some of this work done today. So this is the other bunting that I have that I'm going to be adding in. And I think it just says summer. There's a tree in my way. Yeah, it just says summer, and then it has the little watermelons. But I think I'm going to put it up on the top. So I'm going to take this one down. And I definitely am going to be saving these for next year. They're super cute. Hi, Midnight. What have you got going on today? I've got this cute sign too. It just says hello summer. So I think I'm going to put that up at the top where the bow is. There's like a little peak right there. And then I'm going to put the flags up on the top. So grab all this stuff and then grab my step stool. So this is the bow I had up there for the 4th of July, super cute. But now I'm going to put up that little summer sign. Got a couple more watermelon things. I found 2 little bows there. And then these were like some Amazon ones, and I just taped them to a stick. So I've got welcome, I've got happy summer, and then I've got like a little watermelon one that's metal. So I think I'm going to add those to the planters and take out the flags. Have some of these cuties. Again, just got them off Amazon, so I'm just gonna tuck these in here. I pulled out that one plant that was kind of dead, just to kind of go with the watermelon theme. So let's see, I've got 6, so I'll do 3, and then I'll do 3 on the other side. So now that I got the flower stand all decorated, it was time to take after some of this landscape maintenance. The first thing I did was to cut back the astilbe and the nepeta here with my little trimmers. So I think what I'm going to do is try to plant a couple plants right here where that astilbe looks so dead right there, because it's just like you see it from right there, you know. So I think that's what I'm going to work on next. But let's go ahead and look at the decorations. So I've got the summer bunting, I've got the bows, the hello summer. I think it looks so cute. And then on the sides, I've got the little, these ones are kind of hard to see because they're a little short, but I've got the little watermelons, stakes, that bigger watermelon sign, and then over on this side, a couple more little watermelon things. So I think it's looking super cute. But I think I'm gonna get in there with some of those flowers and maybe some of that Coleus, and maybe just work on this area a little bit, and then see how much else I can get done today. Midnight. Seriously, dude. I just cut that back. Are you gonna try to get it to bloom again for me by rolling around in it? No wonder it's got a hole in the middle of it. Go figure. This small little hedge trimmer has been a game changer. I used to do all this deadheading with just my clippers, and it took me forever. But it's so quick and easy to just deadhead these Shasta daisies with this little clipper. Found one apple. So I guess some of these are ready to harvest. Maybe I need to thin them out a little bit because one of the branches is like hanging down real low. Weeds. Next, it was time to take after that other dead-looking astilbe. I'm not sure what's going on with these astilbes. I'm assuming it's just that they're done with their bloom for the season, and so we're just gonna trim them back today. Cutting back perennials is not my favorite task, but I'm always shocked at how much better everything looks when they're deadheaded. And next, it was time for some pretty color and planting. Now this ground here was pretty hard, but I was able to get some of this Coleus in the ground. Next up, it was time to add a little pop of fall color with these beautiful bedding zinnias. I'm hoping if I keep these deadheaded and keep them watered that they'll continue to bloom for me all throughout the fall. Midnight was very interested in all of my yardening today and was my buddy throughout this whole project. All right, well I got these little zinnias planted in the place that I could, which is right here in the shade. I probably should have put the zinnias in the sun and put the Coleus in the shade. That would have made a lot more sense. But I do think it looks a little better. It looks like somebody tried to put something fresh here, which I did. I did try to put something fresh here. So I'm gonna water everything in with some fertilizer, and then I need to address my apples. So I found a bunch of apples on the ground. You can see some of them aren't good. They're getting wormy and eaten. So I think I'm gonna go over here and pick some of these apples. Because this branch specifically is like on the ground, basically. It's weighted down, and that's because I didn't thin them the way that I should have. So I'm gonna get out here and just pick some of these, bring them inside. The kids and I can have them for lunch. And so that's gonna be my next item of business here. Next up, I did a little bit of trimming on this forsythia plant. Now it's the wrong time to trim it, and hopefully I didn't sacrifice too many of the blooms, but I really wanted to clean it up so that it wasn't in people's way when they were trying to access the flower stand. Then I took my little sign that I had made up on Amazon and put it on the corner of my street. Well, here is what I forgot to bring out this morning, you guys. I got these at the craft store. Oops, this one's getting a little tangled up there. At the craft store, Hobby Lobby to be specific, and they were on super clearance. So I popped them on either side here. And again, just drawing attention, color, and it's, you know, it's kind of a summer decor that I'm trying to do here. So I mean, I think they just really scream summer, and I think the flower stand's looking like super visible and it catches your eye, and that will get people to stop and hopefully grab some flowers. Next up, it was time to continue trimming things on the corner of my property, starting with this lavender bush. So I got in here with my electric shears and tried to give it a little bit of a haircut. Now this lavender has actually put on some little babies that are pushing up through the bark and the soil, so that's been really fun to watch. Then I'm going to trim up this little ground cover. I think it's a dianthus, so I'm just going to give it a good deadhead. It's always fun to watch these videos back and realize how many people walk their dogs and drive by this corner. It really is a busy little area of our neighborhood. And lastly, it was time to rake everything up and get it into my debris bag. I am hot. Was able to get that done. Well, I got the one lavender bush done, and I'm realizing my tool is not great. It is not very sharp. It is not very big. It was the wrong tool for this job, but it's what I had, so I did the best I could. I took the top layer off, and I think that'll really help the plant to, I don't know, conserve energy and just kind of trim everything back. Now I'm going to start on the lavender, which I was intending to harvest to use for my dried floral stuff. It's past its like prime for drying, but I've just let the pollinators enjoy it up until this point. But these stems I'm going to take really long. So let me flip the camera around. I'll show you kind of how I'm planning on harvesting this one. So I've pretty much waited till most of the pollinators are through with this. I'm seeing a few bumblebees still on it, but most of these blooms, they don't have very much new, like you can see, there's only one bloom there. Most of this is already spent and gone, and I have let them feed on it until this point. You can also see, if you look closer into the plant, you can see there's a second flush of blooms that's wanting to come. In fact, it looks like some of them already are there. So it will really help this plant to lose some of this growth. I'm backing myself out of a hole here. To lose some of this growth, do is kind of bundle it together with my hand and make kind of a bunch of it, and then use the trimmer underneath to just zoop, trim that bundle off. It's going to look kind of funky, so I'm going to start at the bottom and just kind of dive in here, get like kind of a bundle to think about how, much of the plant. Let's see if it'll cut it. Oh, it did. Okay. So there's my first bundle. So I could do more than that, probably. I need to grab a harvest basket or something, though, to kind of put these in as I go. So I'm kind of starting down here at the bottom, and I'm going to work my way towards the top. And I have seen some pollinators on this still. So if I don't get it all harvested today, it's fine. I just kind of wanted to get at least some harvested before it starts to fade even more, because what will happen is the flowers here will just continue to kind of fade in color. And so I want to, like I said, I could have harvested them in full bloom, but we do have honeybees here in our yard. We have a beehive, and so I want to make sure that I'm having lots and lots of things for the pollinators. Flip my little tray here. And then I'll leave some, but I kind of cleaned up the bottom a little bit, so it looks good. Leaving the bumbles for a second. There's about one more bushel I want to take right there, and I think we'll be good. That's enough for me to deal with. So this is how much I harvested. Look at that. That's not even a quarter of this one plant. Look at that. That's insane. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. So last year I did bundle some of this and put it on the flower stand, and it did sell. So I could do that, or I could use some of it for my dried flower arrangements I'm planning on doing. There's so many things you can do with lavender. I've had a lot of success with this particular variety of lavender. Now again, technically, once I process this, I'll probably come out, do another cut, and maybe take the rest, or maybe take another third and another third. Just for the health of the plant, for the sake of the plant. I don't want to go too long with it being in different stages, but I don't think it will hurt it. Right, I am on my last task of the day. It's all I have time for is to deadhead these these Shasta daisies. So here's your quick before shot. Now these will not rebloom. They just really don't. Oh man, I've got 4 of them to do. It's the heat of the day. I'm trying to get this done. Wish me luck. I have a feeling that the battery of this trimmer is going to die, like any moment. Well, luckily, my battery of my trimmer did not die. I was able to get the rest of these 4 little bushes all tidied up. So what started out in the morning as just wanting to update the decor of the flower stand turned into a pretty full day of yardening. Tell me if I'm the only one here, but does that ever happen to you? You kind of get going and before you know it, you've been out in the garden all darn day. You're hot, you're tired, and you're sweaty. So I was really glad to have all these projects done, but let me tell you, I was exhausted by the end of this day. So here's how the Shasta daisies looked after they were all deadheaded and mounded up. I think they look so much better and tidier. I was really glad to have that done. All right guys, well I think that's everything I'm going to be able to get done in the garden today. I'm really glad that I was able to spend some time out here today. I got the flower stand all refreshed for the month of August. I got all the 4th of July stuff down and I think it looks really, really cute. I'm excited to have the summer decor up for my flower stand. I was able to deadhead a lot of plants and cut back a lot of things. I was able to plant some new plants and some fresh color and just really spend a lot of time grooming my side yard and my corner and to really emphasize the flower stand, and I think everything turned out really great. So if you watched to the end and like this video, if you could give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, that would mean the world to me. And I'm so thankful that you're here. So go ahead and let me know that you liked it by subscribing to the channel. So as with any garden project, there's always more to do. So be sure to subscribe so you can stick around and see what else I'm up to in my Oregon yard. If you need me, I'll be doing some yardening. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.